Hello everyone, today is Tuesday the 18th of June 2013. The time is 14:55 in the afternoon, so it's a lovely day outside, so it is. Um, well, in today's video, what I want to talk about is, you see, um, uh, recently my dad passed away. As a matter of fact, it'll be 2 weeks ago tomorrow morning since my dad passed away. Um, he had lung cancer, small was neuroma or something like that. It's small cell lung cancer anyway. I know that much. Small cell lung cancer. He had it on the right lung, and he was diagnosed there about when was it around towards the end of last September or early October. It was there last year when he was first diagnosed. Originally, they thought that it might have been TB that he had, but he had a biopsy. He was sent for a biopsy, and that pretty much confirmed that he had lung cancer. So they originally originally he was only given like 3 to 6 months. He lived on for nearly 9 months, so he got a little bit longer than what was predicted. So yeah, I have to like when he was first diagnosed, when he was first diagnosed around late September, October, we were, like we had our doubts that we would have him for Christmas. So, but thankfully we did have him for Christmas, and so um, so we did have him for Christmas, and he was pretty good most of the time. So he was. Just the last couple of months and just the last few weeks, he really went downhill. Um, he started getting these. He started getting these. Sorry, that's somebody sent me a text message there. Um, he started getting these like brain seizures, like seizure of the brain, like and eyes were rolling in his head, and his arms were shaking, just like a person that's having like an epileptic, having an attack of epilepsy, that kind of thing, arms shaking, and so yeah, because you see the cancer, you see, it was in his right lung, but it spread to his glands, and then, well, you see, it had spread to the glands by the time he was diagnosed, and then it had spread to his to the brain. So yeah, he's had a few goes of radiotherapy, like and that helped things. It's just like slowed things down, and just like helped slowed the aggressiveness of the cancer down, like and he also, oh yeah, he also had a lump here. A lump came up in his shoulder more recently. He had radiotherapy on that, and that seemed to have took the lump away completely. But see, the cancer had spread into the brain, you see, and then after he had this last go of radiotherapy, the doctor said that he would have some memory loss, and which he did. Not too bad, mind you. His short-term memory was affected, like if he did something like yesterday, he would forget whether he did anything yesterday, and you know, he would he would forget anything now that would have happened yesterday if he was still here, that's the way he was. But if you was to remember, but as regards remembering something from years back, that was still no problem to him, and he was still pretty aware, so he was, and yeah, but but the past number of weeks now, particularly, he really began to go downhill, and he did he so anyway, to make a long story short, he we had the night nurse in the night before he died. It was on the Tuesday night, so he died on the Wednesday. So it'll be 2 weeks. It'll be 2 weeks tomorrow morning, as I said a few minutes ago there, when he passed away. So the nurse came in around maybe 10:30, 10:35 or something like that, maybe on the Tuesday night, and stayed here until 7 o'clock the next morning, and she did whatever needed to be done during the night, and when she needed anything, all she had to do was just call me, and when she needed assistance, like, and so anyway, the first time she called me she called me twice during the night. She called me twice. The first time was at 4 a.m. She had to give my dad a few injections. It was like to help with his breathing and to help with his brain seizures, because he was having the brain seizures at this stage, like. And she called me up because, you see, I had to help her slide my dad back up into the bed. He was in one of these special beds, one of these electric beds that you can lift up and down or tilt or whatever. And because my dad kind of used to slide down in the bed a bit, and he used to be a bit too far down, so I had to give her a hand to slide him back up, and she showed me the proper way to do it and all, because I was doing it before we had a night nurse in, and I was doing it by putting my arms around him and kind of like pulling him up with my arms around him, which wouldn't be good. Well, it wouldn't be too comfortable. It wouldn't be too comfortable for him, and it wouldn't be too comfortable for the person that would have been pulling him up, like, So the nurse showed me the proper way to do it, So that was grand, and then and the nurse didn't need me for anything else. I just went back to bed, and then again, maybe sometime after 6 a.m. anyway, not much after, she called me up again, and she told me that my dad had deteriorated a lot during the night, and yeah, you could tell by the way he was breathing and everything, and he was unconscious at this stage. He wasn't able to open his eyes. He could not respond when you would talk to him, and you could see the fluid coming up in his mouth from the lungs, and the nurse cleaned all that out for him with a tissue or cloth or something, and because he could not swallow, obviously. So that was another thing he was complaining of in his last few weeks there. His throat was getting sore, and he had to cut up his food into smaller pieces, into real tiny pieces, particularly in the last few days or so. And so that was okay. And I asked her, I said to her, how long do you think he has left? And well, she said 20. First of all, she said 24 hours. Then she went into the room to where my mum was sleeping, and woke her up too, and just told her to call the family, that he has deteriorated a lot during the night, and that he only has a few hours left or whatever. And so then that was grand. She told us then to go and sit down at the side of the bed, on the side of his bed, and just to be with him. And So anyway, yeah, and she, yeah, and what else? Yeah, my mum called my brother, and my brother came out, and this was the nurse had gone at 7 o'clock. So my brother came out maybe at about 5 minutes past 7 or so, and then he, and then I remember on two occasions my dad had stopped breathing for a few seconds, and then he would breathe again, and I thought he was gone at that time, so I did. I remember going up to tell my mother she was up in the bathroom, and I went up to tell her that he had stopped breathing, and then he had started again, and so then my brother called the priest. My brother called the priest, and the priest came out within a few minutes, and this was about maybe 20 minutes or so after the nurse had gone, and so then the priest came out and gave my dad his last rites, like anointed him and said a few prayers over him, and I'd say about maybe 30 to 60 seconds after that, my dad just slipped away. So and I remember it was before the priest came out, like during my dad's last few minutes, I was kneeling down, and I was holding I was kneeling down on the right side of the bed, and I was holding his right hand like this. So I was, and yeah. So it, you know, what I want to say is that like we, well, we knew we I guess we knew in the back of our minds that this was going to come, but we didn't know how soon. We didn't know how soon, because my dad has done quite well, like, and so all I wanted to what I want to say is that is that there was one thing that none of us wanted to see, and that was my dad suffering. And he did not suffer. He went off. He slipped away he passed away so peacefully, and thank goodness he did, because there was one thing that we were fearing, and that is and that's what the doctor said, that what might happen is, what sometimes happens is with people with cancer is they start towards the end, they start like gasping for breath, so they try to get their breath, and that would have been quite horrifying to look at, So we're thankful we're thankful to God and the Blessed Virgin and all the saints, and that he slipped off, that he passed away so peacefully, and because that was the one thing we were dreading, and but nevertheless, like naturally enough, there was and there still is like a certain degree of sadness and loneliness in the house, like, after when a person passes away, and I just want to say that to people out there, like, and who may not have experienced it or whatever, and like, is that you think that you are prepared. The people that are left behind to mourn a person's death, like, you think that you're prepared for it, but like, you're actually not. No matter how prepared you are, it's still going to hit you, and you know, and I can remember, like feeling just drained from the whole experience. That day when my dad passed away, we were all just like drained, like, and well, particularly me now because I only got like about 2 hours sleep or less that night. So that night when the nurse was here, so you know, and and just the whole thing the next day then of my dad passing away, and seeing the rest of the family coming in, and and all that, and just the sadness that you feel, and then to hear the rest of the family, like I found it hard to hear the rest of the family, and I know it has to be done, but I found it hard to hear the rest of the family making talking about the funeral arrangements and about when the funeral should be, and and then over the next couple of days, like talking about like who's going to be doing which reading, who's going to be doing what reading at the funeral, and all that sort of thing, and and like, so it's an overwhelming experience, but you do cope with it, you do get through it, you just have to grit your teeth and get through it, and so you do. And another part that I found draining as well, like, is like when like we had the wake here at the house, and dad was laid out here at the house and for a few days, and like when you've like I'd say over the couple of days, like we had a few hundred people. I'd say we had about maybe 200 people, I'd say, coming in and sympathizing with us, and like when you be talking to them about what happened, you're telling them, and then you're telling the same thing to another person, and telling the same thing to another person, and so on, and it's just that alone drains you too. So, because there was times now when I had to go out in the garden there now, because we had tables set up out in the garden because people could go out there because the weather was beautiful during that time, so it was, and absolutely the best weather we've had in a long time, thankfully, and we think that my dad organised the beautiful weather, so so I had to take. There was times like when I had to just take time out and just go out there and just sit down and just relax for a little while, and then I'd come back in. Then I'd talk to more people, like, and they'd sympathise with me, and I'd say thank you, and I'd be telling them about what happened, and it was just the whole experience of the whole thing was just draining. But I think if I am to go through it again, like go through um, losing a blood relative, like, if I was to go through it again, I think I'd like, at least I would know again the next time like what to expect, and at night time now you would feel it here. The house is lonely with one less person in the house, and sometimes it feels as if that person is going to come in, like come walking in the door or something like that, and sometimes you think that you're going to hear their voice, like, and all that, and sometimes you can nearly picture them around you, you do feel it. You do feel it when a person is gone. You do feel it. You do. And luckily enough now, over the past number of weeks now, even before my dad passed away, I've started having counselling, just to try and be prepared, and I'm still doing counselling at the moment. I've another another 2 or 3 weeks left of it, maybe. And it's helped me. It has definitely helped. So it has, and you know, and yeah, I've done a lot of my own grieving. So I did. I even grieved the first day. The first day when my dad got his diagnosis about the cancer. So grieved. I remember when we got home here, I went outside the house and I just cried to myself in private. So I did, and I wouldn't even wish something like this on my worst enemy. And I don't have any enemies, thank goodness. But if I did, I wouldn't wish this on them. No, definitely not. And then of course there's the other things, like of looking at the things that person has left behind them, such as their belongings, like such as clothes, whatever it may be, books, and stuff like that. And it can be sad looking at the things they've left behind. So anyway, okay, well, that's all I want to say in this video. So I if there is anyone out there that has gone through what I've talked about, then please just leave a comment or something in the comment section of my page, and please no nasty comments either. So please. So yeah, but it's again, if you look at it, I just want to say this, but just before I finish up, sorry. If you look at it this way, right? We all go this. We're all going the one direction, if you know what I mean. You don't have to be sick and to have a disease to die. Like, we're all going to die one day, and that's one thing in life that can never be changed, and that is the fact that we are all going to die one day. We all have to die one day. I know that there's people out there that think that they're never going to die, but no, that is not true at all. We're all going to die, and I would certainly love. I certainly do believe that there is a heaven, so I do, and I would hope to be with all the people that I knew here on this earth, and even the people that I do know on this earth. I do hope that we will all be joined together in heaven one day. I really do hope for that. So I do. It's a nice thought. It's a nice thought. It's nice to think. It's lovely to think that there is a heaven. I certainly do not want to go to hell. I do not want to go to hell. I want to go to heaven. So one day, not now, the moment when I'm maybe another 40 or maybe another 40 plus years. Now I'm 33, so maybe another 40 years or so. I definitely do want to go to heaven. That is definite. So anyway, as I said, please leave some comments in my page if you want to, in the comment section. And as I said, please no nasty comments, please. Okay, thank you.